Seniors, congratulations. What a sweet milestone it is in your life, and what a great accomplishment it is to finish college. Although this isn't the way that any of us imagined your senior year wrapping up, we believe that God is still good and He has a plan. Even though we don't know what that plan might be, we trust that this too is meant for good.
We miss y'all so much, and as a thank you, we wanted to create a video just for you, the seniors, reflecting on all that God has taught you throughout your college career and an opportunity to hear from those you love.
Hey CBC, congrats to all the seniors. I think where I've learned and grown the most throughout my collegiate career would be trust in God and trust in His plan. And through prayer and through spending time in the Word and spending time without distractions with God, you kind of develop that further and further. And there's this mutual trust that forms, and you understand that God has a plan for you, and it might not necessarily be what you want or what you think is best for you, but ultimately it's His plan, and there's a peace in that, and that could be very refreshing.
Had I looked at myself 4 years ago, I would have not been able to stand here and confidently say, I'm a believer. I didn't know what it was. 4 years later, here I am about to graduate, and I'm able to very confidently stand here and say that I'm a young woman following in the footsteps of Christ. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without you guys. I was challenged the last 4 years through CVC community with people who showed me what it was like to date with Christ as the center of the relationship, with friends who challenged me, who made me question why I believed what I believed, with people who grew me so much over the past 4 years. It's honestly impossible to believe that I can confidently stand here and be proud of who I am. And it's because of the relationships that I made. It's because of you guys. I wouldn't have been able to stand here and confidently say that I'm proud to be who I am 4 years ago. But because of my relationships through CBC, that's completely changed.
My time at school, God made me a Christian, and then and one of the ways that I grew up was that I kind of stopped trying to do what I wanted and trying to like do the things that God wanted instead. Try to like give my life, try to lose my life, you know what I'm saying? So then and the people who helped me in this, who are also seniors, who I lived with, are Jake Tasker and Croci. Best friends for life.
Throughout my 4 years of college, the Lord has really taught me how to find my identity in Him and Him alone. I came to Armstrong to play soccer, and because of the merger, I lost that opportunity. But it exposed the fact that I was so wrapped up in other things that I forgot that identity in Christ was so important. So by removing soccer, I was forced in a way to dive into that relationship with the Lord as much as I could in order to find out what was going to be next for me. But ever since then, I have found security that I did not know before. And I'm just so grateful for that, because I know that it doesn't matter what I think of myself or what other people think of me or what position I'm in. The Lord is where my hope and where my identity is found. And also I'd like to give my shout out to Haley Henderson, because I remember meeting her on Armstrong's campus, and she has just been so friendly and welcoming ever since.
Hi guys, the Lord definitely taught me the most in my college years in community. I did not have good community in high school, so I really encourage you to find at least 2 people that you can be honest with in the college group and who are seeking to know God more through His Word and seeking to serve Him some way in the church or outside of the church. I went through a failed relationship in my college years, don't we all? And that really tested what I believed about God. And one thing that I came to realize through the help of a counselor at CBC and community at CBC was that I was trying to be perfect on my own, and I didn't actually believe, even though I thought I did, that Jesus Christ was enough, that he had paid for all of my sin in the present, in the future, in the past. But now I do, so there's that.
Hi, it's Hannah here. One thing that the Lord taught me throughout my college career is how to have peace throughout tough situations, and even just throughout challenges like meeting a short deadline. 3 seniors have really helped me with my friendships with them in helping me grow in this peace. And the first senior I'd like to thank is Jeremy Wong. You're so kind and you're so funny, and you maintain such a cool vibe when you have to meet a deadline or when you have to overcome a challenge, and I really respect that. Another senior I'd like to thank is Elise McMurry. I'm really thankful for our friendship, and I wish that we could have hung out more this year, but you really resemble the Lord's peace, and I really thank you for that and for helping me see that, and I know that I can take this characteristic that I've seen in you and apply it to my life. The third senior I'd like to thank is Libby Barrett. You're so kind and you're so peaceful, and you welcome everybody with open arms. You welcomed me with open arms, and I want to take that hospitality that you have and apply it to my life as well. So thank you guys.
Hey CBC family, I just wanted to give an encouragement about the college ministry. Over my 4 years at SCAD, played a huge role in my spiritual growth and maturity. And I think I really learned the importance of a strong community, which CBC gave to me over and over again. I can't even say enough about how important that ministry was in my life, helping me through ups and downs, the best of the best and the worst of the worst over 4 years. It changed who I am. It developed my faith in a way that certainly may not happen if I hadn't been there. But specifically, Street and Gabe and Tyler all either finished with school now or approaching the end of school. Guys who I met through CBC who have certainly played a huge role on who I am. I think all of us are really different, but all share that foundation of faith. And I wouldn't be who I am today without CBC, without those guys, without many other seniors who are leaving, who are going to go all across the country, changing other people's lives, being used for God's purposes. I'm really, really excited to see what happens as this group of believers, these seniors at CBC, move to new cities, new jobs, new communities, and do the Lord's work wherever they end up.
He has taught me to just trust in his plan, to always trust that he knows what's coming next, he knows what's been happening before, and to trust that whatever he is doing it for a purpose. That has been the biggest thing that I've learned from him, is just to genuinely trust in his plan. And to all my other senior friends, I am graduating in 3 years, so didn't get to know a lot of you guys, but let's still trust in this next season that God has got us and he knows our plans. And I just wanted to give a special shout out to all of my junior class friends, class of 2021. Y'all are my day ones: Lyndon, Alyssa, Lily, Evu, Molly, Jenna, the list goes on. I love you guys dearly, and there's no way that the past 3 years would have been the same, or that I would have learned the same lessons from God without y'all. So he definitely blessed me with some great women, and that's it.
Really, really grateful for the time that I've had in Savannah, and specifically the time that I've been able to be a part of the CBC community. It has just been like no other church community experience I've ever had before, and it has just been so encouraging and such a positive thing throughout the past 4 years I've had here. And kind of specifically, I'm so grateful for the friendship that I found through Elise, who's now my best friend and my roommate. And she really kind of sought me out when we were freshmen 4 years ago, invited me to join her small group, and that's where I just met some of more of my best friends now that have been the most encouraging, the most supportive, the most honest women I've ever encountered. And they've just really challenged me and also supported me in the past 4 years in ways that I've never experienced before, and it's been for the better. So I cannot thank her enough. She is such a superstar, and so is everyone else in the CBC community. I'm so grateful, and I will miss it so much. Thanks.
One of the greatest lessons that the Lord has taught me during my time in college has definitely been about the value of being disciplined in my faith, and how through discipline leads to a lot of trust, growth, and maturity in my faith. And I owe a lot of that to being surrounded by such a great community at home and in studio. And at home, I'm so grateful for the friendships and fellowship I've had with Brios, Sophie Nelson, and Elena Webb, and in studio with Rachel, Michaela, and Liz. They've all been such a great blessing to me, and it's been so great to share so many great memories and joys with them over these past 4 years.
My relationship with God has changed so much in these last 4 years. I don't have to be ashamed to ask God for help and to admit that it's really hard. And I've been through things that are hard, and that's okay. I think one of the greatest lessons that I've learned is that Jesus wasn't ashamed of his scars. So I also shouldn't be ashamed of my scars. If there's one thing that I can walk away from the last 4 years knowing, it's that I am who Christ says I am. And Jesus is very clear on 3 things. I am a child of God. I am infinitely valuable. I am free. He's so clear about that. And remembering that, it's not easy. But knowing that that's what Christ says, and Jesus, I mean, if Christ says it, it's true. Those things are true. And if that's true of me, it's true of you.
So growing up, I always thought I was Christian. I grew up in a Christian family. I went to church every Sunday, so surely that makes me a Christian, right? Well, as it turns out, that just wasn't true. My faith grew the most in sophomore year. At the end of freshman year, me and my high school girlfriend broke up. I was very depressed. I was lost. I just didn't know what to do with myself. But God is good, and he pursued me, and I just heard this call. I just kind of had this calling from God that, you know, that I should seek him. I should find him, and I just need to look for him. And so that brought me to really trying to look for a church community and further church engagement that I just haven't been doing for a long time. And all this is happening in my life. I just so happened to be in the same class as Jake Tasker. We were in 8 a.m. model shop class together. Those were the good times. And we just slowly grew to become really, really good friends. And he actually is the reason why I ended up going to CBC college and CBC in general, because he was the one who told me, hey, you should come join me. Let's go. I'll introduce you to some people, whatever. And so, yeah, that's how it all happened. And to add to this, and I'm sure this is divine intervention, my car broke down towards the end of sophomore year, and I was very frustrated at the time. And if you know me, you know I love my car as well. So it was just a hard time. It just wasn't good. But this turns out to be the best thing because Jake and I grew even closer because I've constantly needed rides to get to places, to get to CBC, to get to class. He lived very close to me as well, so it all worked out. And we grew very, very close, and we've had such deep conversations. I remember talking to him at the his boundary dorm room at the time, and we've just had the deepest conversation that I'll just never forget. And we would hold each other accountable for certain things as well. And so it created a friendship where through Christ where I've just never experienced before, and I'm just so thankful for it. And so after all this, I regained kind of self-confidence, and I just understood what it truly meant to be a Christ follower and to live it out fully. So yeah, Jake, if you're watching this, buddy, I miss you. I love you. I hope everything's going well up in Buffalo, and I hope to see you soon, and you missed me a coffee date, so I'll see you soon.
Hey, it's Libby. One huge thing I've learned in college is learning how to rest. It's kind of what my art is about, but it's also just what God's taught me in the past 2 years of college. I think college has a tendency to bring the best and worst out of us, but I think we're all working hard for something and working hard for that degree. But I've been learning that whatever we do or don't do or think we are, who we want to be, we're nothing without God. And also He invites us to not work from a standpoint of striving, but to work in a standpoint of rest, and to literally work from resting in His presence with Him. So a flip from working to rest, and I've just been learning that, still learning that. And then two people that have really impacted me, Sophie Nelson. She is just a light and really just listens so well, and I think is very patient with people, and has just shown me the love of God through being patient and listening. Elise McMurray, what a gem. She is so bubbly, but also just so humble and honestly just very steadfast. She is very faithful and loyal, and I think just shows up, and I think that's so important. And I'm so grateful for those two ladies, so yeah.
Hey CBC, for those of y'all who don't know me, I'm Matthew Holmes, and I just wanted to share one of the ways I had seen God grow me through my college experience, and that's just been trusting in Him. There's been so many times where I wanted to do something and He had a different plan in mind, and it's been so rewarding to see how His plans has been so much better than what I wanted, and just also how He's provided for me, both spiritually and monetarily. There's been multiple accounts where I just didn't feel like I had enough, and I didn't. And thankfully, though, He was there always just to provide for me, and I've just grown to trust that He will provide above and beyond anything that I could ask for, and I'm so thankful for that. I just wanted to shout out to a few of the guys at CBC who had invested into me just over the few months that I've been able to be here. Jake, you've been my small group leader since day one, and it's been just awesome to see how you have humbly taught this and led the small group and just grown with us. I just really appreciate that, bro. And then Street and Gabe, you guys have both done an amazing job of just intentionally and genuinely asking about me and asking about other guys. It's just been so cool. There's been no checkbox or agenda. You just care about us, and that's just really awesome, guys. Love you, CC.
Hey, CBC family. I'm so grateful for these past 4 years that we've had together. It's probably been the most formative season in my life, most definitely. I have learned so much. God has taught me so much, mainly in just realizing the importance of community and building Christ-centered relationships. God has just really been showing me how to just trust Him and rely on Him, especially right now, and with all my worries, especially in the future. He just comforts me through my community, through you guys, through the word, through worship, through time that we spend together. And a lot of this has been in really personal relationships, relationships with Amanda Ridings, Libby Barrett, Bree Yost, my mentor Jenna Tucker. They've all just been amazing women in my life, and I'm so grateful for them. I'm really excited to see what God does in their lives. They are just a light and shine wherever they're put, and are just encouraging to anyone else put in their lives. And I just want to thank Will and Rhea as well for being awesome leaders in the CBC College, and I just love you and appreciate you all so much.
Hey CBC family, Street Croci here. I'm quarantining from Cincinnati, my home, with my family. One of the ways I've seen God show up in my life, and one of the ways I've grown through my college experience, has just been learning what it looks like to have ownership of your faith. I grew up in a family that was around church, the high school Bible studies, but that was all with the current of that stream I was in. I show up at college, and all of a sudden I'm in a new stream around different people, maybe not the best people, and having a faith was pretty against the current, wasn't what was cool, and it was just easy not to really own my faith once my family wasn't there. Getting plugged in at CBC and finding community, good people that hold me accountable, is what really showed me that if I want to have this relationship with God, He's there, He's waiting, He shows up in my day, all throughout my day. I just have to see that, and I have to go after that and accept it and choose to run after Him. And that has been a growing experience through college, but one that I now feel closer with God through the other side. And that's been thanks to guys like Gabe Perez, Jake Tasker, and Tyler Kilgore, who are just the solid dudes that took me in when I needed it, and who I've developed amazing relationships with and have been there for me, and been there for my faith and held me accountable throughout my walk and my time at college. I'm thankful for CBC, and I'm thankful for those dudes. I miss you all. I miss the whole CBC family. I miss Savannah, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone on the other side of this whole thing. So stay well and stay safe. See everyone.
Family, on behalf of CBC, we want to say thank you for allowing us to be a part of your life. Our hope and our prayer is that as we have gathered together, that you have grown in your relationship with the Lord, so that you might go and be the church in your community, in your workplace, and in your homes, pointing others to the hope that we have in Christ Jesus alone. We love you more than you will ever know. Now, go and be the church.